Hello, I'm back. Let's see if you all find me. Hey, Jennifer's back. Yes, I am back. I don't know what the heck's going on with my connection the last 2 nights. It's been kind of crazy where I've just been dropping there. I do not know. Hey, Dina. Well, I thought we were going pretty good tonight, too. But I'm glad you're all following. I don't know what's going on with our high-tech computer here, but we'll figure it out, people. Yeah, I think it's a Facebook thing. I think it's a Facebook thing, and I think it's their new producer thing that they're doing, and they're doing some update to it is what I think is going on. So I think it's more Facebook than my connection, but you know, I don't know what's going on. But I'm glad you're all hanging in there with me. And I switched to the phone, which loads it a different way. So I'm supposed to be better on the computer, but we'll see. You know, I think they're using on the desktop model where they're going to that producer mode is what they're doing is really kind of weird in the way that's happening. So, frustrating, I know. So I apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. But I'm glad you're all chiming back in here and hanging in with me. Looks like we're getting everybody back. My count is clicking up there as everybody is re-finding me here. So I was talking about Microsoft there and how they are closing all of their stores permanently. The software and cloud giant that are announced as part of their new approach to retail will permanently shutter all its Microsoft physical locations, including 4 high-profile stores in Manhattan, London, Sydney, Australia, and Redmond, Washington will be turned into Microsoft Experience Centers, where customers will be able to experience products, see demos, explore device bars, and learn about technology. All purchasing will be fulfilled via the company's digital storefronts, including Microsoft.com. Hey, Jenny and Carmela. We'll also offer consultations for small businesses and education customers and host trainings for our enterprise customers, and we'll continue to offer a range of community events and workshops. The company, whose stores have been dark since March due to the pandemic, said its retail employees will continue to serve customers, providing sales, training, and support, working from Microsoft corporate facilities or remotely. Microsoft expects to record a charge of $450 million, or 50 cents a share, during the current fiscal quarter for asset write-offs and impairments. So, just an interesting way of dealing with it, and they're sort of poised to be able to handle that. Amazon is buying a self-driving vehicle startup for the money they found in their couch cushions. $1.2 billion plus. They're going to buy Zook. Amazon has signed an agreement to acquire Zook, a Foster City, California-based autonomous vehicle provider. The current CEO and co-founder, Chief Technology Officer, will continue to lead Zooks as a standalone business. They launched in 2014 with the goal of developing purpose-built zero-emissions vehicles designed for autonomous ride-hailing, along with end-to-end autonomy software stack. Amazon already has taken an active role in developing autonomous delivery vehicles, such as its Scout 6-wheeled electric robot, a variety of delivery drones, and self-driving trucks. In addition to leveraging Zook technology and its continuing efforts to deliver autonomous delivery vehicles, Amazon could also use Zooks as a platform to launch a self-driving rideshare service. Currently, Google-owned Waymo operates autonomous taxis in the Phoenix area, and Uber has been piloting self-driving rideshare vehicles in Dallas, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Toronto, and D.C. Zook is reportedly developing a bi-directional vehicle which can easily drive in either direction, which could provide a major advantage in densely developed and populated urban areas. So, that is what is happening there. You can't hear me, Bonnie? Turn me up, Bonnie. Maybe too much envelope glue. Big Lots. Hello, Kelly. I am sorry. I really am sorry that I lost everybody. Meet George Jetson. Big Lots. Quarter 2 comp sales to date well ahead of expectations. Hey, Ryan joined us. The off-price retailer said it has been seeing a continuation of the strong demand that began in mid-April during the pandemic, with quarter-to-date comparable sales through fiscal June increasing well ahead of expectations. They now expect same-store sales to be up in a mid to high 20s percentage, which easily bets the 13.3% increase analysts expect. They expect earnings per share of $11 per share on the sale of its 4 distribution centers as part of a previously announced sale-leaseback. They noted with positive business trends and recent disclosure of the sale-leaseback transaction, it's in a very strong liquidity position with current cash and short-term investments of nearly $1 billion. And nothing drawn on its credit facility. Okay, so let's get into this. There's a lot of phishing attacks as people return to the office. Emails with fake COVID ID, COVID-19 training materials are trying to trick employees into sharing their credentials. The coronavirus has been the subject ripe for exploitation and abuse by cyber criminals with phishing campaigns, malicious websites, and phony apps. Now that people are trying to reopen, recent phishing attacks observed by the cyber threat intelligence provider Checkpoint Research are targeting employees returning to the office. Checkpoint noted that organizations welcoming back workers are enacting testing programs and workplace rules to guard against COVID-19 infections. To prepare employees, many companies are offering webinars and training videos to explain the new rules and requirements. Of course, cyber criminals are aware of this trend and are actively exploiting it. They're sending files and emails masquerading as COVID-19 training materials. And some of them even try to get you to sign up for a phony employee training seminar. So there's a lot of phony going on right now, including the old bank hacks. Okay, I had one that I talked about today with someone, and their business account was hacked. I've told you since the beginning, keep an eye on your business accounts, okay? Well, your personal ones too, because there's lots of malicious stuff going on with that, okay? So it's very important to keep an eye on your bank accounts because it is very, very easy to issue fraudulent transactions on a bank account. And, you know, I know we're all busy. I know we're working a lot of hours. But keep an eye on your bank accounts for activity that does not seem right. because it comes out of nowhere. I had one today that I heard from someone that was over 10 grand. So you got to keep your eyes on your accounts and keep that in check. The other thing I wanted to talk tonight about with finance was the actual financing. I'm excited that people are getting reduced mortgage rates and things, but there is a lot of things going on with financing, just regular finance. Like I've told you before, cash is king. And I've cautioned people against taking idle money and paying off loans versus hanging on to cash right now, paying off other loans. And that's because those loans may not be available, those lines of credit or other places where you have had money may not be available to you afterwards. There's a huge tightening of credit markets. And one of the reasons is under the CARES Act, okay, banks were not allowed to report deferrals or non-payments that were allowed under the CARES Act for mortgage payments and for other things where you deferred payments or did not pay during that period. So nobody knows who's creditworthy anymore. So the banks are really tightening up any sort of lending. I even had an employee that a couple months ago would have had no problems getting a car loan that is having all sorts of problems getting a car loan right now. And she needs a car. But that is the thing that is happening. And people, as they pay off credit lines for their business, are finding that the credit lines are being reduced or closed by the banks right now. So, and especially the big guys are big on this. So hang on to cash when you have these great days, these great months, these great weeks. Hang on to cash. Cash is extremely important. Again, I don't have a crystal ball on the future. I think things are going to be good in the long term. I think we're going to come through this year quite well after all the things we have been through. But cash is still king, and hanging on to it is really important. We still have to grow our way out of this. So keep those factors in mind there with that. I know this next bit of information will shock you. The SBA faces a parade of lawsuits over the handling of the PPP. The Small Business Administration has become ensnared in a series of lawsuits regarding its rollout of the Paycheck Protection Program, which experts say could have significant consequences for the program and future coronavirus relief efforts. Since the CARES Act was signed into law March 27th, the SBA has become the subject of at least 26 separate non-bankruptcy lawsuits. According to a review of filings available on court document search engine Pacer, the lawsuits range from who could apply for the PPP, who could lend, and whether the SBA strayed too far from the will of Congress when writing its much-analyzed regulations. The parade of lawsuits was really to be expected given how quickly this was rolled out. Adding the SBA can be sued in any court. I think that in their rush to get out guidance and to get out frequently asked questions and forgiveness applications and all that, they lean too heavily on their past practices and inferences about the statute. While the SBA does not comment on legal proceedings, key features of the PPP, including an initial rule that capped non-payroll expenses at 25%, did not appear in the original act passed by Congress, nor did certain eligibility rules that limited which businesses could apply for the loans. Some of those eligibility rules were taken from the agency's other existing loan programs for small businesses. One such restriction, for example, prohibited adult-oriented businesses of a prurient nature, which includes strip clubs, from applying for a PPP. A group of 42 such businesses filed suit against the SBA and won an injunction in U.S. District Court. That ruling allowed the plaintiffs to apply to the program. simply, Congress didn't pick winners and losers in the PPP. Instead, through the judge wrote, instead, through the PPP, Congress provided temporary paycheck support to all Americans employed by all small businesses that satisfy the eligibility requirements, even strippers, or businesses that may have been disfavored during normal times. The SBA rules barring companies from in bankruptcy proceedings from the PPP has also drawn challenges. The bankruptcy court sided with the companies in bankruptcy, which said it was in the middle of granting its preliminary injunction to be able to apply for the PPP, and another lawsuit about franchisees. So there's a lot of lawsuits going on, and those will continue. And they expect more rule changes. Some of them proactive. So we'll see where that all goes. I still expect in a post 4th of July, I expect next week after the 4th of July, I expect banks to actually start being ready for forgiveness. We'll see how that goes. If you have not applied for a PPP, this is your last 24 hours. This is crunch time. You are up against the wall. You are at the wall. It is kind of sad, Kelly, that the SBA is being sued. In normal times, I mean, I really wish people could understand the SBA in normal times. I've worked with people at the SBA. I know a lot of people there, and I really wish, people could understand them in normal times. They are a phenomenal organization with phenomenal people that really care about businesses succeeding in the America and fight tirelessly for them, and provide great resources and education. So, but again, like I've said since early on, they are a group that has been dropped into the Indy 500. Okay, Indy 500, and they were racing on a bicycle. There are still people out there, Jenny. Keep on looking. You got 24 hours. 24 hours. A good community bank is probably your best shot, or one of the online lenders. They can get it done. Okay? There is still time to get it done. It is still doable. It'll bring us into, and we'll cover it more, as much as possible. I've had the conversation with a lot of you the last several days. The 8 weeks versus the 24 for forgiveness. We really want to work the 8 weeks as much as possible. The 8 weeks is really, if you can pull it off, that is your best benefit, because if we get the opportunity, and in today's world, I think that we will get an opportunity potentially for a second PPP. Okay, part of that will be based on whether you have gotten through your first one. Okay, and if you haven't, that'll be a disqualifier. So that is something to keep in mind as we move forward. Nobody's ready for forgiveness yet, but I expect that to start opening up next week. And we will keep an eye on it. But all the resources I talk about here, everything I do, it goes right over to narts.org/resalestrong. narts.org/resalestrong is where you find the resources that I talk about here, including how to de-escalate tense situations that I posted last night. You can find that on narts.org/resalestrong from our friends at the National Retail Federation. You find all the resources, including these videos. These videos go there, and the resources every day, the next day by noon. You get it live here in the Narts private Facebook group every day, But the next day, they are live at narts.org/resalestrong, or you can go direct to the videos on YouTube at the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store. When you have a question you don't know the answer to, when you don't know how to handle it, you don't know which way your numbers are up or down or sideways, you just email me. You email me at Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. Make sure you include your phone number so I can give you a call back, because I'm happy to go through it with you. Happy to help you with it and see whether we can make what we can make work for you. Because I'm dragging all of you to the other side of this with me. Every single one of you. We're going to the other side. One way or another, we're getting there. And we're going to get all our friends in this to the other side too. Whoever your neighbors are, the cupcake shop, the hair salon, the nail salon that I helped the other day, whatever the business, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, we're going to the other side. I promise you that. Everybody's headed to the other side here. We're very excited about that. We start every day and night here. Every day and night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. For those of you that were not here at the top of the program tonight, our good morning tonight was good morning. Grateful for the very notion of you. Even more grateful for the reality. Look at you. Dream realized. We're off. Let's go. Our good night tonight is good night. Grateful for the reality of you. Even more grateful for the notion of tomorrow. Rest up. We need you at your best. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good wedding, a party, a bar mitzvah even. I'm there for you every night at more 8 than ish here live in the Narts private Facebook group. In between, you can find all the resources at narts.org/resalestrong or email me, Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. I'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Don't forget, it's Cassandra's birthday tomorrow. Make sure we wish her a happy birthday tomorrow. We're going to party here tomorrow night at more 8 than ish. Have a great night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Until then, know that you and you, but most especially you way up there in the back, I'm pointing at you tonight, are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody.